When we're asking for a set of rows from a database, we can pretty easily find values that match a term exactly. All of the people who signed up to get shirts, or all of the people in California. But we can add a little bit of logic to our statements too, in order to start asking more interesting questions about the data. For example, we could ask for the names of everyone who is in California and who asked for a shirt. For that, I'll write select first name, last name from our people table, where state equals California and shirt or hat equals shirt. This AND term here is a logical operator, and SQL supports some of them as part of a predicate. You can chain them together if you want to ask for records that have more conditions fulfilled. I'll run this, and I can see the result. I'll add the team field here into my select clause, and then in the where clause, I'll add and team equals blue. I can search for people in California who wanted a shirt, who signed up for the blue team. We could also take this last condition here and use the operator is to replace the equals operator. And that's the same result. Or we could switch out is to is not and get the records that have anything except blue in the team field. If you're used to working with other programming languages, you might recognize that exclamation equals also means not equal to, so we could substitute that in here as well. And we get the same result. Rather than asking for many conditions that are all true, I could use the OR operator to tell the engine that I want results where one of the two conditions is true. Let's say we want to see everyone who wanted a shirt but was in California or Colorado. I'll erase my statement and write select first name, last name from people, where state equals California or state equals Colorado, and shirt or hat equals shirt. Let's add shirt or hat into the select clause along with the state so we can see what's going on. Running the query, I can see that I'm not getting back what I expected. Here's some results that are hat, even though I'm asking for shirt or hat equals shirt. Why is that? The engine is interpreting each of my conditions as it goes along. So it's giving me records where the state is California, or the state is Colorado, and also the records where shirt or hat is shirt. It's paired those last two conditions together. So we see every record where California is the state, in addition to records where the state is Colorado and the shirt or hat field is shirt. It's considering this compound term together as one term. If we added more conditions in here, we'd be getting the last two as a compound condition. What we want to see is the state being either California or Colorado, and within that selection, only the records where shirt or hat is shirt. So we need to add some parentheses here, around the state selections, to make it clear that we want to get back either California or Colorado, and then ask within that set for records that match shirt. There we go. Now, all of the shirt or hat fields say shirt. That's what I'm looking for. Parentheses are a really useful tool for shaping the meaning of your question for the database. You can use more than one set if your query is extra complicated too. Incorrect grouping is a common mistake in writing statements, and it can be a kind of subtle thing to troubleshoot. There's another operator we can use in our queries too, which lets us be a little bit less specific, and lets us look for values that match some text, called the like operator. If we wanted to say, give me all of the records whose state starts with the letter C, we could write out state equals CA, state equals CO, state equals CT, and so on. Or we could say state like C%, saying match the letter C, and then whatever's after that is fine. We just care about matching the first character. To write that, I'll write select first name, last name, state, where state, like, and a single quote, and in this case, C, %, and then a closing single quote. Running this, I can see that it's matched the state, where the C is at the beginning, and then whatever comes after it is fine. Here's California, Colorado, Connecticut, and so on. Or we could change that around and put N first. Or we could put the % at the beginning to match any state ending with N. Or we could say, give me all of the first names that start with A. Or that start with J. You can use more than one % sign as well, if you want to match the text somewhere in the middle of a field. I'll change this to %J%, and I see that I have 147 rows. This is a little bit more subtle. I can see that Benjamin snuck in here somewhere. Where is it? There it is. Switch it out for some other text, and you can see how it works. For example, ON, or CH. And we've got names that match that somewhere in the text. We could take a look at the company field instead, and ask the database to give us everything that ends with LLC. Though it would be helpful to see what those company names are. We can also tell the database how many responses we'd like to see with the limit keyword. Limit tells the database to stop returning results after a given number of them have met our search criteria. So if I only wanted to see the first 5 results on this last query, I can do that with limit 5. Or I can say the first 10. I'll change the 5 to a 10 and run that, and I see I've only got 10 responses. If I wanted to see a specific range of them, like the second set of 5 responses, these here, Antonio West through Rachel Robinson, I can use the offset command to tell the database to skip some records before counting off my 5. I'll add offset 5 to the end of my limit clause. And here I can see that the first record is Antonio West, which was the 6th record before. So we've skipped 5 rows, and now I have 10 results starting from that point. The limit keyword can be useful in conjunction with some other tests, where a value is involved, as we'll see in the video about math, or when interacting with a very large database. Take some time to write your own queries with different criteria to explore the data.